Two of I wanna ink like Ken Landgraf, the Outlaw comic legend. I'm also promoting for the month of August. Can Crom sell 100 copies without Kickstarter? All right. Happy Saturday afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. I am Kurt Brugel, and I am going to be continuing my education from the master, Ken Landgraf. This is a commission I got from Ken, his version of Crom the Barbarian, which is one of the 5 Virgin variant covers that are available for only the month of August on cromthebarbarian.com. So if you are interested, or better than interested, you are a sword and sorcery fan, this is a comic for you. 140 pages, black and white, magazine size, all Crom, all sword and sorcery. Broken up into 3 parts. I'll be talking more and more about this as I go along, but right now I am itching to get my pens out and get to inking. Now, if you're here, you're probably here for 2 reasons, or one of these 2 reasons. One reason would be you want to know what I'm doing when it comes to inking. So maybe you're an artist or somebody who is interested in doing their own comic book art, and you're looking for some pointers. Well, I'm going to have some for you because I'm going to be learning from the best. Ken Landgraf, Outlaw comic legend. The other thing is that you are probably interested in Ken Landgraf. So, if you don't know who Ken Landgraf is, you got to get your Ken Landgraf on if you're into indie comic books, especially black and white comic books. He is the godfather of indie comic books, black and white comic books. He has been at this and still going since the 1970s. Worked with Gil Kane, Wally Wood, Neil Adams Continuity Studios, did his own comics. This is one of his big greats, if you will. New York City Outlaws from Floating World, promoted by Power Comics. And, Cartoonist Kayfabe did some shout outs there too. So this I just recently acquired, and it is truly fantastic. This red screen is very, very inspiring. So, but I'm just here to do some inking. So let's jump back into it. Where I left off was basically I got all this down. The thing about Ken Landgraf's work is he does a preliminary. These are 2 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. They're taped together. This is just ballpoint pen, and he has put Crom fighting a horrible beast and a wizard helping or hindering the situation, and of course the buxom maiden, and then light boxes over the top of it, this masterpiece. But I think I still got to ask Ken a couple questions. I think one of the things he does is he outlines, if you will. Then he finds screens, prints them out, cuts and pastes them down, and then starts the inking process, with brush pens and ballpoint pens and the like. So I do not have a laser printer, and I obviously don't have the screens that Ken used. So I am going to be just doing all pens. I got my High C 0.5. I've got my Shinpitsu double brush. This is sort of my medium and my heavier brush. And then my trusty go-to right out of the gate, Fudenosuke hard tip ink pen. So where I left off, I was, I was heading towards this arm. So I'm going to try to keep these things in view. If you have any questions, please go ahead and put them down in the comments. Love to have you here. This is an education on inking the way Ken Landgraf inked. And I am studying from the best, the master. So I will be going in and out of talkiness only because I get very consumed by the work at hand. So there's a lot going on. You can see a lot going on. I also have to translate the screens. So as I'm getting closer to the screens, I'm going to have to come up with my own version. I think I'm going to actually go a little heavier on this outside line. Going to really make his muscles bulging. And so it looks pretty good. All right. So as I said, you have questions, comments. This is a double promotional event. I am promoting the work of Ken Landgraf. This is a recent Kickstarter with Kirk Oldford. Always got the Apocalypse 5000, and I believe everybody should have a copy of this. This is a Bible, black and white indie comic book making. It's all right here. You really don't need any more of it. I'm also promoting, can I sell 100 copies of my Crom comic without Kickstarter? You're going to vote yes, then vote yes by heading over to cromthebarbarian.com. All right, so this is a 140-page black and white magazine-sized sword and sorcery filled Crom collection. The first part is my work, 4 stories, The Youth of Crom. The middle part is The Adventurous Crom, which is based on the Crom creators, Gardner Fox and John Guinta. And then I have put in a illustrated prose story. It's a conversion from a 1953 pulp story Mr. Fox wrote for Planet Stories called Warlock of Sharador. I just changed the science to magic and injected Crom World to it, illustrated it, 35 pages. The most important part to read is the last part number 7. So this gives the liftoff from how you take a silly little barbarian youth and turn him into the god that Crom the Cimmerian, Crom the Barbarian is going to praise or curse when he's not getting the help he needs. So if you're really into Conan the Barbarian, Savage Sword, you've come to the right place. There's a few things that bring me joy. Conan the Barbarian is one of my joys. I mean, the looseness of Ken's pen lines, and then how he's making these decisions based on these loose pen lines. It's pretty incredible. And it's obviously, it's based on, I mean, years and years of experience. So there shouldn't be any surprises there. And I'm doing myself as much as I can to stay in as close to what I see Mr. Landgraf doing, because, you know, I'm learning from the best here. And the way we learn from the best is to copy them. Nothing wrong with copying. You'll learn more from copying your favorites and the masters than you will staring at them. So I'm hoping I'm going to inspire people today. It's a Saturday afternoon. And so if you haven't already today, grab some pens and paper and doodle, draw. Don't worry about creating any kind of art. Just do it. Just do it. One of the other things I'm really attracted to Ken's style is he's been doing this for so long that it's a signature. So you just know. It's like a Kirby thing. You just know it's a Landgraf. It's Ken Landgraf because of the way he handles making. So, and it's inspiring. I think a lot of us aspire to have our work be just as recognizable as Jack Kirby or Ken Landgraf's. So that's one of the things we're working towards as artists. I'm always up for questions. I'm live streaming through Riverside to Instagram and YouTube. So you're either coming to me from one of those places. Channel I'm on right now, just to give a shout out to Turbo Pit Fighter. You've landed on our YouTube channel, and I do mean our YouTube channel. I am working with a fantastic writer, incredible penciler, and one of the most imaginative people when it comes to science fiction and the post-apocalypse in comics, Jake Jacobs. So we have a 10-page teaser out. It can be picked up at kurtrubel.com. But Jake and I get together every Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning, usually work till about 2. We do mainly 2 videos. The first video is always the making of Turbo, which we're working on every Sunday, a page, or the pages, I should say. I'm inking issue 1, which is already penciled. Jake is working on issue 2, which he's penciling and writing. And I'm doing some co-writing as well. We have a Doom Mags Substack. So if you're a big Substack reader and you want some really great wild stuff to read with some great little illustrations, go to Substack, put Doom Mags in there. But this is Turbo Pit Fighter. And the other half of the day on Sunday is either spent with comics that influence, where Jake and I take comics out and review some stuff that we're influenced by. Like, I've been very influenced by Adam Lemma's Relic Hunter. This is issue 1. He's now working on issue 2. And Ooh, we got a shout out to my main man, Gotham Shiram on YouTube. How you doing? Thank you. Adam Lemna, Relic Hunter, is working on 2. If you're into sword and sorcery, black and white, this is where you go. You can pick these up at Cosmic Lion Productions. Okay. So, and then the other one we actually interviewed Adam Lemna, and we do that with our indie exchange, our creator exchange. So these are these are creators that we've exchanged our comic book with, and they have sent theirs, and then we get some time together on the podcast. We talk comics, the process of making comics, how to promote comics. There's so much damn stuff out there. How do you get people to look at me, look at me? I just started getting into this live streaming, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. I can see a lot of potential here. So you'll probably be seeing me here. This is a special live streaming event for the promotion of Crom the Barbarian. It's a collection that I just released in the month of August 2024. And this is the one of 5 covers that I have for only the limit time of August. So Ken Landgraf is one. Let me show the others off. This is Drawn Sword from New Zealand. Anybody can guess who this is? That's right, David Molina. And Jason Schoonover. Both of them have fantastic. Jason has a YouTube channel, and Drawn Sword has a YouTube channel. David's going to be working on a YouTube channel real soon. Marlon, thank you so very much. That's right. Practice, practice, practice makes perfect, perfect, perfect. So I got to get back to getting back to my perfection. So well, enough of that. So this is me working from the original commission I had made by Ken Landgraf. So this is the original. It's giving me the ability to really study and find out what makes this thing tick and add it to my own arsenal. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do a thicker line there. If you have questions, go ahead and ask. I will do my best. I'm trying to keep my eye on both inking and the 2 live streams that are going on right now. So, a bit hectic, but worth it. Now, Ken has a YouTube channel. Just type in Ken Landgraf, Landgraf, and you can watch him ink. Actually, you can watch him inking this very pinup commission. And he shares some of his insights in approaching. So every time you see my big pause is that I'm checking, making sure. We heading your way. God, I'm heading your way. Thank you for the support. God, thank you very much. And we got to get you back on the Indie Comic Exchange. I know you are working on stuff, and both Jake and I can't wait to see what it is that you are working on. So thank you for the support. So one of the things and one of the reasons I'm doing this is Ken uses screens prints them out and pastes them down basically at the outlining stage of inking, and then inks in an incorporation. So it's a really cool collaging element. It creates a really, really, really awesome effect. I really, really, really am drawn to it, and I want to learn more about it. And the only way we can learn in art is by doing it. So I am doing a master study here, if you will. So as we move along, I am going to be figuring out how the master Ken Landgraf has done it and does it. You have questions, feel free to ask. If you're coming in after the live stream, thank you. Made it this far because it's like 20 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. And if you have questions, put them in the comments. I'm always checking in. This and my other channel, which is Kurt Variant Inker, where I will be returning to finish this. There'll be a link in the description on how to get there. And you can find out more about me, my work, and Crom the Barbarian, the Cromunity. So all things Crom, sword and sorcery, good escapist fun. So here's a good, this place here, you can see this area I'm starting to indent. This is a collage element, so it's a screen. I am going to, so pay attention, try to figure out how to mimic the screen, because I don't have right now a laser jet printer that would print things just good flat black on white paper. So and I don't have the screen, so I've got to figure out how to make this happen. So I'm just going to play around here. And I'm also, my hope is to get Mr. Landgraf on the channel, either this one, if not both of them, my or this channel, which is the Turbo Pit Fighter channel, if you're on YouTube, or the Kurt Variant Inc. Probably have to change it at some point, but the Variant Inker thing is going to be divulged soon enough when we get to. That's right, we're working on a Crom anthology is going to be the follow-up. So Crom anthology, this is just a scrapbook I put together of all my favorite black and white sword and sorcery barbarian comics, which I use for inspiration. And I'm hoping with some of the funds that I get from selling the first 100 copies in the month of August to license them or commission artists to do original work for the Crom anthology. So one of those reasons I'm doing all of this promoing for the month of August. So if you want to support, it's easy to support. Go to cromthebarbarian.com. So cromthebarbarian.com is where you will get your copy of Crom the Barbarian. And this is the 24th of August. So this time next week, Saturday, will be the end of the campaign. So that day you will see me doing live streaming. It will be on Kurt Variant Inker, my other YouTube channel, link in the description. But today I just wanted to come over here and say hi to the Turbo fans, give them a heads up on what I'm doing, how things are progressing with Crom the Barbarian. What I'm doing today is putting another hour's worth of time figuring out how Ken does it. I love Ken's work. I love Ken's approach. I want to know more. So the best way is to copy. That's how we learn, copying. The masters did it. You ever heard the phrase master copy? So what you would do as a young apprentice, Renaissance time, any time actually, and they would stick you in front of old master paintings, and you would have to figure out. They would tell you. I mean, it's not so much like figuring out, but you would learn from them, and you would mimic how they were doing it, and over time you would have your own recognizable style, but you would have the fundamental understanding of how it's been made. And that's all I'm doing here. I'm just fundamentally trying to figure out, without a laser printer and the screens Ken used, to make this amazing commission. Once again, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the comment, whether it is right now while I'm live streaming or at a later point where this has all been live streamed and is now just sitting on the website. It's got this big old horn. I love watching Ken do his inking, his approach to inking. It's very immediate, if you will. There's no fussing. And what I mean by fussing is the particulars and taking time to make sure each stroke means something. Ken's approach is all the strokes mean one thing, and that one thing is this amazing pinup, Ken's version of Crom the Barbarian. So, and I'm just doing my best to figure out how he does it. I have some ideas, not totally in the dark. But one of my favorite things to do is to ink. Love inking. That's the whole Kurt Variant inker thing. Got these shark teeth. Shark teeth. Love them. Monster with shark teeth. All right, so so this here is a cutout, and he's used this screen, which is something that he's scanned and printed, a laser printer, and he's using as an effect but he's inking in there. So I'm going to do a little high C cross hatching. Let's see how that works there. It's not the same because these are all dots basically. The way the cross hatching, then the bleeding together and creates kind of a hole. So the two lines, making a grid, have created a hole kind of effect, which is a little bit nicer than this just straight lines thing. But that's all I got right now. I'm going to save my money and buy a laser printer probably in about a week or two. And then start figuring out how to find places to get those screens. Hopefully Ken will give me some ideas. And then start incorporating them in my own work. I have been doing that a little bit. Because like I said, I've been very interested in this approach that Ken uses. So there you go. That seems to be working. Let me just grab a bit. I just want to take a moment. Thank everybody for stopping by, whether it's on the live stream or later, after this is now a old piece of content. Oh, yeah, cool. So already, I love this actual small hatch pattern for scaling. So thank you, Mr. Landgraf. All right, so I'm getting a lot done here. It's good. I'm 30 minutes in, so I'm just going to keep moving. As a matter of fact, I'm going to keep moving down. Actually, I'm going to move this like this. right down the side, the back of this horrible creature attacking Crom. One thing I'm really hoping to do and get is a side by side video podcast with Ken. So it's less about asking him questions and answering them verbally and him showing. I think that's going to be a hell of a lot more interesting than something really tough about listening to somebody explain how to draw or paint something. Doesn't make much sense. You gotta show it, you know? You gotta show it. Show them what you got. Show them what you got. All right. I'm going to link these two hands. So this hand, so he's got this hand over here and then this hand here. So link these two hands. I'm actually going to get more clawage in here. Oh, wow. I just saw something here. It's kind of hard to see. Let me bring that original in. So this is going to be even more challenging. Thank you, Mr. Landgraf. So right here he has the hand, and then the hand bends and then goes back. This is the forearm, and then this is like the bicep shoulder. He makes a decision to extend that arm all the way back and then bring it back up into the shoulder. So I'm really going to have to freestyle this. This is a little nerve-wracking, but I can do it. I can do it. And especially if I have you guys cheering me on. So here we go. I'm going to get this hand finished-ish, at least outlined. Man, I am just having a blast. I apologize if I don't keep the chatter up. I know you're supposed to on these live streams, but you too can join in by asking questions. And if this is after the live event, you can also ask me questions in the comments. And of course, I can answer them back, but I can also do a video on it. So I'm guest spotting on my own second channel, which is Turbo Pit Fighter. And let's just take a second. I'm on the Turbo Pit Fighter channel, where Jake Jacobs, the penciler and story writer, and I am the inker on a post-apocalyptic sci-fi thriller called Turbo Pit Fighter. That's right. This is a 12-page, the first 12 pages of issue 1 as a teaser. So we put this out as a part of our exchange. We have an indie creator exchange, and so We'll send a copy out to an indie creator. They send us a copy back, comic back, like we did the indie exchange with this fantastic Adam Lemna and his Relic Hunter. So here's another. This is from Cosmic Lion. This is Adam's work. I love it. He's working on 2. So I cannot wait, though I think it's going to take us through the end of the year, or him until the end of the year to get that completed. But that's the channel I'm on right now. Kurt Variant Inker is the other channel. Should probably have that printed out somewhere. But there'll be a link down in the description. I forgot to put it in when I put this whole thing together. But I'm here promoting. Let me just grab the cover I'm working on right now. Where are you? Here you are. Is the 1 of 5 variant ink covers. So this is Ken Landgraf. I commissioned this, and I have it as a 1 of 5. It's 140 pages, black and white, sword and sorcery, barbarian, goodness, and nonsense. And magazine size, just like those old. I got to clean off the shelf over here because I don't seem to have access to everything I'm supposed to be using as a. I put them over here under my vendetta. Everybody remembers Savage Sword of Conan, right? Give me a like if you remember Savage Sword of Conan. But this is my lifeblood. This is what formed me as a young man, or a kid into a young man. Conan, drawn by John Mishima and inked by Alfredo Acala. I'll be doing some master inking lessons from this duo right here. So that's the soul and inspiration. After the month of August, because I'm running a Can Crom sell 100 copies without a Kickstarter? Vote yes by going and visiting cromthebarbarian.com. There's 6 covers to choose from. This is my cover, which will always be in print. So you're coming to this video after August 31st, 2024, then you can still get my copy. But these covers are only limited for the month of August 2024. Part of the compensation package to these creators is they will have copies. So there'll be links to be able to get to them. And I have a question on YouTube from John Molina, who is the brother of David Molina, who is one of the most fantastic of the guest artists that I worked with and I'm still working with. We're doing a story for the first Crom anthology called The Last Dryad, 8 pages. But you have a question? Thank you, John. Yeah, John has a question, and it is, Kurt, is Robert E. Howard's The Hyborian Age public domain? I recently came across his Hyborian Age essay covering the history of that work. Would be great to make a comic off that world. Wow, I'm not in the legal position, if you will, to answer if it's in the public domain. I would, if you want to get a quick answer on that, go to Bing, the Bing chat, which is AI generated, and it'll give you a better answer. I do get curious to. Conan International Properties is what controls Conan the Barbarian. So there might be something where they might have picked it up and are controlling it based on their reprinting it. But Conan the Cimmerian from the Pulp's Weird Tales, the originals, they're in the public domain, but at the same time, this is why I chose to work on Crom the Barbarian, is to kind of steer clear of getting into any kind of legal mumbo jumbo with other entities. Crom the Barbarian is in the public domain, should remain in the public domain, will remain in the public domain. Even if I'm publishing, I am claiming no ownership to this character. I want to play with others. This book you can consider as like the player's hand guide and sandbox to come and join me and play with this. The whole idea of my journey for Crom is to take him from a bumbling, babbling, not bumbling and babbling, just an awkward youth, barbarian youth who keeps falling in and out of situations. He's got this sword, skull biter, becomes a usurper and a king of Ophir, through the foxes, but will eventually become Crom that Conan the Cimmerian / Barbarian praises or yells at or curses, in the story. That's my goal, and would be my contribution to the Conan world, going that way. John's great question. Seriously, great question. Can't be the best legal resource to do it justice, but I also agree with you. That Hyborian Age essay is a really cool piece of world building, but there's nothing stopping somebody from working off of it. You know what I mean? Because it's all mishmashy stuff from history, if you will, Atlantean, Lemurian history, prehistoric history, history after the cataclysmic, and the asteroid hit us in, and killed all the dinosaurs, all that kind of stuff. That's all play. You can play with all that kind of stuff. So don't get too caught up in any of that. But once again, really great question too, which also shows you're a fan. That is a big fan move there. And then in the old sword and sorcery magazines, they had reproduced that essay. I don't know if that's where you ended up finding or reading it, but it's also elsewhere online too. So once again, the sketch is one way, and I've got to go the way that Ken has. So I'm off-roading it right now, which is pretty darn exciting. This is one of the reasons I love doing these master studies. And it goes right off the page. I don't want to hit the original. This is really, we see. You're welcome, John. Thank you for stopping by too. We see with our eyes, but as an artist, we see with our pencil or ink brush or pen. So there's a lot more to drawing than stylistically making something that's cool. Oh yeah, look at this. He's a three-fingered creature. Yeah, he's got three fingers over here too. So all right. I think I actually could go a little thicker than I am going to on the arm of this creature that has attacked Crom the Barbarian. So, all right. Well, look, everybody, this has been wonderful. 50 minutes. I'm going to start backing out. Another stab, another getting it done. I mean, we still have to get through the creature, a little bit more Crom. We got the wizard and the damsel. Got some stalagmites. I think those are the ones that go down. So there's going to be a lot more. I'm going to be doing this over at, oh, look at this, I found some paper. Okay, so if you want to find me, oh, wait a second, what is this? Oh, I don't care. If you want to find me on my other channel that's all about the Crom universe, barbarian, sword and sorcery, you can come over. You can search, first off, you can search for Crom the Barbarian, but you can go to Kurt _variant _anchor. Okay, that's my YouTube channel. If you're on Instagram, you're right where you're supposed to be. So don't worry about that. And go ahead and like, subscribe, all that fanciness and everything. But in closing, I just want to repeat one more time, if you haven't heard already, I am running a sales campaign for my Crom Barbarian, 140 pages. Can Crom sell 100 copies without a Kickstarter? Nothing against Kickstarter. I've got the copies. They're ready to go. It's a print on demand. You get, you order. Takes about 7-ish days for the print on demand to print, and about 3 to 4 days to get delivered to you. So 2 weeks at the max. But right now, as of the 24th of August, I have sold 63. So we are on our way to hit 100. If you have purchased, thank you so very much for the support and the love. If you have come to this after August 31st of 2024, my copy with my cover, Crom Collected 2024 Revised Edition, will still be available. It's because I also have it assigned to an ISBN number. So there'll be more ways of getting a hold of this, in the future. But right now, it's only on cromthebarbarian.com. Boom. If you'd like to come and play in the sandbox, the Crom the Barbarian sandbox, kurtbrugel.com, or you can actually get through Kurt Brugel, cromthebarbarian.com. But I just want to show off these fantastic guest arts. I'm working on Ken Landgraf's original from it and learning more about how he inks. This is somebody else I'd like to do a master study of. David Molina. Love this cover. I love them all. But the way David approached this is hands down somebody who is upping their skill every time he's putting pen to paper. And we're working on a Crom adjacent story called The Last Dryad. So this is moving along. He's going to be doing the pencil layouts, and I will be inking that. And that will be in Crom Anthology #1, which is the follow-up. Adam Dodds, Doodly Gobbly Goop. It's a hashtag. Instagram. The way he approaches this stuff, it's like Doctor Strange meets the psychedelia. So this was his version of Crom the Barbarian with Queen Tanit, pulling that curtain away and all this. Just amazing stuff. So really, really exciting. Jason Schoonover. Love Jason's work. Just met with him because we're also working on a story together where Jason will do the layouts. I will do the inks. We're calling it Kandahar Crom, which once again is a Crom adjacent story. And it's going to be a lot of fun and pretty darn cool. And then last but not least, Drawn Sword, New Zealand-based fantasy artist who is working on a an art book collection called Scoundrel's Dread. This is to size, by the way, pencil rendering. So just amazing. So these are covers you're going to be able to choose from other than mine. only for the month of August. And then after that, copies will be distributed to the guest artists. So you would then have to purchase them from them and everything. But I just want to say thank you. This is not going to hold. So for joining me. Thank you for supporting me, and look forward to more Crom the Barbarian Sword and Sorcery, just good old-fashioned escapism in our entertainment. So cromthebarbarian.com is the place to go. The other thing I just want to just situate this. You can visit me also on my Crom-centric channel called Kurt Variant Inker on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, you've hit the right place. Don't worry about it. And then, yeah. But you're on the one last time here. Oh, here it is. So you're on the Turbo Pit Fighter channel. I work with Jake Jacobs, who is the story master and penciler, and I do the inks and run the YouTube show, podcast. So you can get this teaser from kurtbrugel.com. If you're also an indie creator, you can do the indie exchange, which is we'll send you a turbo teaser. You send us a comic book, and we'll get together on the podcast and talk about, help promote, and talk about the future of comic books. But other than that, guys, that is all I have for today. Thank you again for joining me. And all these people coming in there. I'm going to give about 2 or 3 minutes. If you have a question, go ahead and put it in the comment. If it's after the live stream, same thing, put it in the comment. But today I worked on another section of my master copy of Ken Landgraf's version, Crom version pinup that was used for my Crom Comic campaign. So, but other than that, thank you so very much. And we will see you again. The next time I will be working on this will be on my Kurt Variant Inker YouTube channel. So you'll just have to type in Kurt Variant Inker. Also, if you just type in the YouTube search Crom the Barbarian, it's a good chance that one of my videos will come up immediately. Crom Updates is also the podcast for that. So with that being said, can't thank you enough for joining me and supporting. Thank you so very much. Have a great one.